Good morning, hello, and welcome to Jamfield, a new beginning. Now, before we get into anything, as you can see, I've got the obligatory cup of coffee with a cup that a friend of mine bought back from holiday. Unfortunately, though, I've only had it about a month and it's starting to come apart. Oh, it had to be on the mallard as well. Now then, getting into it. This was a plan I did for Jamfield, of which I contacted White Rose Model Works to get a quote on the work. Now, the problem was, as he said, because it's only going to be 5 foot by 6 foot, which is the maximum I could do so as I could get around it, because I've got 2 3-way points there, and another one here, it's going to be too much track in too small an area. Now, he said to me, have you thought of going down a scale? I said, well, no, because all my dad's rolling stock is double O. So I've had to, I've spent the weekend going over it, umming and ahhing, and I decided I'm going to have to go down to Engage. But before we get to that, I'll just explain what he said to me. Like I say, you'd have to use set track curve points, which are prone to derailments. That's problem one. Problem two is too much track in such a small area. Now, he did give me a quote on how much it cost. He said it would be £728 just for the baseboards, of which he said they'd come in 4 pieces. And he said for the track work and wiring, obviously, like you know, due to my 2 strokes, I struggle like crazy. And I also forgot to put in a lift out section, which wouldn't be that easy on a board this size. So that scuppered that. But he said for the track work and wiring, I'm looking at £1,400 to £1,700. Now, that is an awful lot of money, which I don't have. And at the end of the day, I fell into the old trap of the age-old dilemma of too much track in too little a space. So that was the end of that one. Obviously, because I haven't got the space, I'm going to have to downscale to Engage. So this morning, I got up at 4 o'clock, 10 to 4, had a shower and a shave, been spending all morning thinking. Now, this one will be 7 feet by 3 feet in Engage. Now, hopefully it wouldn't cost half as much as the original double O plan. Now, I'm still sticking to a single line branch, like so. Now, I'm thinking that I'm going to move the yard and this set of points further down here. Gives me a bit more room for shunting. Now, one mistake I made the line coming here into the loop. But where it connects back onto the main line, it's going to make it difficult, because I'd have to go all the way along the loop back onto the single line in order to reverse. So it's a quandary at the minute how I'm going to do that. I like the look of it. It's basic, it's plain, it'll do what I need. And in 7 foot by 3 foot I can run a 7 coach mainline train. I wouldn't be able to run, however, HST, but I would be able to run a Voyager and Super Voyager. So that'll be enough for me, even though it'd be very rare for you to see them on this kind of a line. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sets of points in total, because I'm counting that as 2 separate points, because you've got to have 2 motors with a 6-track fiddle yard. So at least I'm only going to need 2 controllers, one for the main line and one somewhere around here to control the loop and the yard. So these sidings, because I'm going to design it so as it can be running either BR 50s, 60s, or present up to date kind of rolling stock like 60s, 66s, 57s, 70s. I'm not so bothered with the 68s. I know a lot of you might disagree, but I don't find them that attractive a loco. Then again, I don't find the 70s that attractive a loco. 60s and 66s, yes. I love the 58s. I'm not so fond of the 67s, but they were primarily used along with reliveried 47s on parcel trains. So I might have the occasional diversion of a parcels train. Now, I've emailed White Rose this. I'm going to wait for a reply back and I'll see what he says. If it's going to cost something like 1,500, £2,000 all in all, granted it's a lot of money, but it takes a lot of the pressure off of me. We're having to keep climbing under the board in order to do it. Now, as far as I'm aware, it come in 2 boards. One at 3 foot by 3 foot, one at 4 foot by 3 foot. So if I could move those points onto the 4 foot board, I'd only have those 2 sets there and however many in the fiddle yard. I mean, I might reduce that from 6 to 4 because it's only for my entertainment. But I'd have the controls at the front because it'd have to be pushed right up against the back of the shed so as we can still keep getting in. Now, I've been looking on different websites at different items of rolling stock, and I'm in shock and awe of the deals that's actually available out there right now, especially with Rails of Sheffield. I mean, talking of Rails of Sheffield, there was a video I saw on YouTube, I can't remember by who, but he was complaining about the packaging on the items they send. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been times I've had a parcel from Rails in the past that's not been brilliantly packaged, but it's not had any detrimental effect on the rolling stock. As long as the rolling stock's fine and it runs, I'm not so bothered. I mean, there's been a few times they've come in basically brown paper, and it looks like someone's tried to open it. But because Rails uses that much tape around their packages, it makes it extremely difficult to get in, even for someone like me. And nowadays, I have to ask the wife to open it for me when she's not working, because she works 2 days a week to bring some extra money in. So, like I say, I've been looking at Rails' website. They've got some fantastic deals on at the moment. I mean, if you're into 00, they've got the MPV train for £60. Now that, to me, is an absolute bargain. They may not be the best looking units, because they're LA treatment trains, but if I was to do 00, if I had the space to have a 00 gauge layout built, I would definitely have one. Because in my time on the railway as a signaller, from Slights East and Pinkston right up to my grade 4 days at Earl Sidings, I saw them on a regular basis, especially during autumn and winter. And it make a nice addition to any modern image layout. Now, I don't think they've done one in N-gauge, but I can tell you now, if they did, I'd definitely be getting one of those. I mean, I'd like at least 2 or 3 EWS 66s, 2 Freightliner 66s, maybe a pair of DRS 20s, you know, just add a little bit of variety. I mean, I'd love a 220, 221 Voyager, 158, 170, 153, 156, 150, all multiple units. Granted, I wouldn't be able to store them all at the same time, but it'd give me the option of what to run. And because of where the layout is going to be based, on a subsidiary branch line, say between Alfreton and Sheffield, it'd have both northern train services, might have a Trans-Pennine service as well as East Midlands trains or whatever. That way it gives me plenty of options of what to run. Now obviously, due to the size, say if I had a 5 foot fiddle yard, you're looking at 5 wagons per foot, that's 25 wagons I could run. 25 to 35 wagons total, without it looking too out of place. So at least I could get 2/3 of the way towards a full length MGR train. End of the day, that's what I'd like. Even though it might have to be, so if it come in, propel back, uncouple, run forward, and then run back. Something like that. There's only 3 sidings. So it could come in for storage, the mixture of wagons of modern image. Or I could decide to flip the sidings round and have stone loading area up here. I just don't know. Without actually seeing the boards, track and wiring in place, I can't make a decision on what I'm going to do. But this is round about the plan I'd like, because it's simple, it's easy. You've got a plethora of different stock you could run. Plus, if my dad comes round, I could get some N-gauge rolling stock BR era. I mean, I might even eventually get a Midland Pullman with full Nanking blue livery. Now, my dad obviously said if I ever got one of those, regardless of what gauge, it'd kill me. Well, in a joke, he would. Now, my dad's not very good at the moment, he's stressing out, so I'm leaving him as he is for now. I'll get in touch with him when I can. Now, obviously, if there's any thoughts or ideas, don't hesitate to comment. Any modifications I could make, anything at all, whether it's constructive criticism, put it in the comments. You know, you're not going to offend me. Because at the end of the day, that's why we do this hobby, to put our ideas to like-minded people so as we can get a better understanding of what would work and what wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if that double slip would actually be there in real life. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Take care of yourselves, enjoy your modelling, and I will see you when I actually have something to report. Hopefully in the next month or so, I'll actually start getting some Engage rolling stock, mainly from Rails as Sheffield's Engage eBay store. I might have on occasion buy a brand new unit, but you don't know. Like I say, enjoy your modelling. I mean, I can't at the moment because of my health, I can't do anything, but I can dream. I can dream of a nice layout where I can just sit back, turn the power on and watch them going round, which is the essence of why we do it, to relive memories. Take care everyone, I'll speak to you when I do. Bye for now.